You better not pout. You better not cry. You better not shout, I'm telling you why. Because this week on Dissect That Film, me and the crew were talking about Polar Express. I'm official JoeyC. Let's go!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dissect That Film Podcast, where we dissect the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, my wonderful co-host, Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming.
Hello.
Hello.
And returning once again is our good friend, the official JoeyC.
My folks,
Welcome
happy
back,
to be
Joey.
here. Thank you. It's a pleasure. Me and my pal Grimace, we're here. We're ready to rock and roll.
Hell yeah. Grimace,
Pulling up the front.
Grimace, please keep your eyes towards the ground, because if you move your eyes,
He scares me.
I'm going to probably leave.
Remember what we talked about.
Today, we are talking about my pick for our holiday favorite series. We are talking about the 2004. What would you consider this? It's not fully animated. It's a motion captured animated film.
You could just say animated. It's computer animation. It's
Computer animation. Yeah, that's the word that my brain could not process when I was trying to think of the words. And you all are just staring at me as my brain is malfunctioning and steam is it's just oozing.
It's the Tom Hanks Christmas special. It's fine.
It is. We were talking about 2004's The Polar Express. The Polar Express was directed by Robert Zemeckis, who we've only talked about one time on the show, and it was for probably the worst movie he's ever made, and that was 2022's or 2023's, whenever it came out, Pinocchio. That fucking terrible movie.
I don't remember that.
It's horrendous.
God,
we talked about it during our
screen rant. It's awful.
We did it during our remake breakdown episode that we did a while back.
No.
Yeah, because I said I tried to watch it and I was like, oh.
Ew, gross.
Yeah.
It's got Robert Zemeckis all over it.
No.
But let's talk. I mean, let's talk about some of his more notable films, such as the Back to the Future trilogy, Forrest Gump, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You know, films like that. Films that when you think about Robert Zemeckis, it puts a smile on your face. Not Pinocchio. This was Warner Brothers' first computer animated film, or just like a film made by computers. It was based on the Polar Express book by Chris Van Allsburg, who also wrote Jumanji, which is the book I actually own, which I thought I owned this one too. It was released on October 13th, 2004 at the Chicago International Film Festival, and then on November 10th, 2004 worldwide. It was budgeted between $165 and $170 million and made $314.1 million, which you might think is a big success, but based on the budget, it made decent money.
It's funny when...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, keep going. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying.
Drink. It's fine.
No, I was waiting for you.
I was just going to say it's funny how much it's costing.
Podcast 140 episodes. Will it ever go the way we want it to?
No.
Never.
And I'll be sure it happens that way. But it's funny because I know the budget's going to be from the effects. Because This was a big fucking deal at the time. When you literally have Tom Hanks playing like 5 roles in this fucking movie.
It's funny you keep saying like, is it animated? I'm like, yeah, I just watched an animated movie for an hour and 40 minutes. What movie did I see? The whole thing was animated.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not your traditional animation. I get it. There's industry terms that I'm missing, okay?
No. It's the fact that my brain doesn't work at full function. It doesn't work properly, so sometimes I just stare off into space and try to think of things. So it's on me. I'll take the yes. It's sucking my soul out through my head.
Just kidding.
Just like the team did to me today.
Sorry, man. That sucks.
It's all good. So this movie, of course, stars Tom Hanks as 17 different characters. We have Daryl Spy Kids alum, who does the voice of our main character known as Hero Boy, because the only character that has a name in this movie is the Jimmy that he's called at the end of the movie. Like he's the only like name other than like Santa.
Which one's Jimmy?
Jimmy is the kid with the boots, the one they pick up later, and he's got to run to catch the train.
Yeah, the awkward guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
The as economically misfortunate child. That's what it is.
Yes, the one who lives on the wrong side of the tracks, as they say.
That was wrong. I was like, is that a poor person joke? And,
it is.
Well,
they pull up, and I was like, oh.
Well, yeah. I mean, this movie takes place in the 50s. So that is a common phrase for people who were less fortunate. You know, they lived on the wrong side of the track. Oh yeah, absolutely. Do they say wrong side of the tracks anymore though?
It's the other side of the tracks.
No, it's just a trailer park. It's
But there are some nice trailer parks, Dan.
There are. Yes.
I did not know it takes place in the 50s. That blows me away, actually.
Yeah, I looked it up, but also you could tell by like
cheat.
Yes, I cheated.
I did real research and knew the Ford hubcap the kid had in his fucking room. There's no way this doesn't take place in the 50s or 60s. No, I don't know. I did say that, did I not, when we watched it? I didn't know. I was like, there's no way he has a mint Ford hubcap like that.
I thought it was a Frisbee. Good Lord.
It could be.
Yes. That they used it as a Frisbee back then, so
anything's a Frisbee if you're brave enough.
And you live in the 50s, you don't have much for TV, video games, so you had to be inventive. So yeah, you're taking Dad's old hubcap that's made out of solid metal and throwing it at each other. You miss it, decapitation. It's fine.
It's like long darts. Nobody cared. I mean,
oh god. So Tom Hanks did the motion capture for Hero Boy, as he's called in this movie. He also is the conductor, he's the hobo, he's Santa Claus, and he's the Ebenezer Scrooge puppet that you see later on. But
which is technically the hobo anyway.
It's the exactly. But Daryl Sabara, who plays Junie in the Spy Kids movies, and he's married to Meghan Trainor for anyone out there who cares. He is the voice of Hero Boy, and then Josh Hutcherson, who we talked about not that long ago, who was in Five Nights at Freddy's. He is additional motion capture for Hero Boy. So
cool.
And I think, and to be honest, that's kind of how it goes for a lot of the characters. You have multiple people doing multiple things for each one. So you had Nona Gay, who was the hero girl. Darian O'Driscoll was the motion capture, and then you had Megan Moore as the singing voice of Hero Girl. Then you had Peter Scolari as Billy the Lonely Boy, because we had to add the Lonely Boy at the end of Billy. He couldn't just be Billy.
He's just cool. Kenny from South Park. That's all he is, dude.
You had Hayden McFarland as his motion, who did the motion capture. You have Jimmy Bennett, who does the voice. I think Jimmy Bennett was in The Blind Side.
He probably.
Yeah, I think so. And then Matthew Hall was the singing voice. Then we had probably my least favorite character in this movie. We had Eddie Deason as the know-it-all kid, which, funny enough, I've seen this movie a lot, but my memory is terrible. So, like, trying to remember what every character's name is, I literally wrote in my notes, like, know-it-all kid before they even say the fact that he is. They call him know-it-all kid. I don't know if it just was a memory that popped into my head, or if it was just like, no, this kid is that kid. He is the know-it-all kid. And then they call him, and I was like, oh damn, okay.
Yeah, because in the subtitles, when he's talking off screen, it says know-it-all kid. I'm like, I love how he's just credited as that.
Well, he pretty much plays almost the same character in Dexter's Lab.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
he's Mandark, isn't he?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah.
The actor looks exactly like the character in the movie. The man is 65 years old as of right now, which is wild.
No way.
Yeah, he was born in like 1957 or something like that. And then you had Jimmy Pinchak as the motion capture for Know It All. And then we have Michael Jeter, who was the voice of Smokey and Steamer, which were the engineers of the train. Michael Jeter, of course, we've talked about a long time ago at the beginning of this show when we talked about Jurassic Park 3.
Mr. Udesky?
Yes. This, unfortunately, would be his final film before his death in 2000. And I think he actually died in 2003. So it was almost a year before the movie actually came out. They actually had to bring in somebody else to do final voice recordings for the characters.
He's from Tennessee.
So, yeah, that sucks.
He's from Lawrenceburg.
Well, are you gonna tell me that you're not a hitman either? I never said I was. I'm just the guy that you call when you need something done.
He's great. He was also in The Green Mile, which is probably one of his more iconic roles as well. We have Leslie Zemeckis, who was the motion capture and voice for the sister and the mother of our hero boy from the beginning. I think Leslie Zemeckis is the wife of Robert Zemeckis.
Probably.
Yeah. And there's just, and then you got Steven Tyler in this movie too.
What?
You didn't see it at the end?
No.
Oh, well, I'm not even going to spoil it. Once we get to the part of the plot where he shows up, because he's in my notes, we'll talk about Steven Tyler in this movie.
How did I miss that?
So, yeah, that's our cast. Let's talk about why I picked this movie to talk about and why Joey is here. Well, for one, Joey's awesome. That's why I invited him on.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah. Joey asked me to be a part of his video, so I figured why not bring him back to talk about another holiday movie, because as Dan stated in our live stream, we only invite Joey on when it's about a movie that's takes place during a holiday.
That's right, baby. The Holiday Man. Manly and loves holidays.
There you go.
But so, of course, this is a movie I have seen a lot over the almost 20 years that it's been out. I was 12 or 13 when this movie came out, but I'm one of those guys who just didn't care about I'm too old for that movie. Nah, fuck it. It's an animated movie. I was going to see it. And so I think I saw this in theaters, probably, with friends or whatever. But the reason I chose it for this year is because Joey covered it on his YouTube channel. He covered the video game, the really terrifying video game. And
God,
Joey,
how have flashbacks?
Joey, you want to talk about your experience with the video game?
I don't have words for how horrifying this game is. And rewatching the movie as an adult, I realized how close the video game is to the movie. I'm like, I was seeing things and I was like, that's in the game. And I should have said, hey man, that's from the movie. But the game kept me up for days. And I mean it. Days. Have you ever fought a giant puppet manned by Tom Hanks from the sky trying to kill children? Well, I have. I've witnessed that. And I played through it twice for 2 different videos. I'm getting worked up, guys. I'm getting worked up here. That game, I never thought I'd have to think about it again. And it's funny? When I got invited on the show, it didn't even cross my mind that I beat that game twice in a row, 2 days in a row, might I add. Fully through. I thought I'd never have to think about this game again. I don't know how my brain didn't make the connection that I played this game until you just mentioned that. Horrifying.
So please do yourself a favor. Go to youtube.com/officialJoeyC and watch those Polar Express videos, because they are amazing.
At your own discretion. Dear Lord, at your own discretion.
You might have nightmares by the end of the videos.
You think the movie is deranged and horrifying? The game is unhinged.
Oh my God.
I can't believe I didn't make that connection before.
I remember when Tom Hanks used to do simple movies like The Burbs and Joe versus the Volcano, and then he got older and became a homicidal maniac trying to kill kids on a train.
Not even kidnaps them, man.
Yep.
He goes to their house and says, yo, kid, you're coming with me. And I'm like, no, man, I can't. My parents are sleeping upstairs. Tomorrow's Christmas. I can't go with you to the North Pole. And he said, I don't give a shit. Get in this train. I'm getting scared here.
Well, dude, it's not even like it's it's not even like he forced him. He's like, nobody has to ride. It's all like this illusion of choice.
It's reverse psychology, man.
It is. You think you have a choice, but you don't.
You
Like,
don't.
He gets you on that train.
Is there a train out my window here?
He's got like the ghost of Christmas kidnapping.
If it ever happens to any one of us, we're all just gonna be like, nope, I'm not going out there.
I'm like, fuck you.
It's not even on a track. It's not even on a track, man.
At the end of our yard.
Oh, dude, like train sounds awful close tonight. It's just outside, like just shut the blinds. Just shut the blinds. Yeah. It's not there.
What is really cool though is we actually have a train that comes by about once a year, about this time, and it sounds like that train. I think it's
gather
really
up
cool.
all the kids and just keep them in like a gymnasium somewhere, just to keep them safe.
The harvester of souls, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So, just to kind of give you an idea of what the video game plot is for the Polar Express, other than you really need to watch Joey's videos on them. The premise is the Ebenezer Scrooge puppet is the antagonist of the game, and he attempts to prevent the children from believing in Santa Claus by stealing their tickets and trying to prevent the children from making it to the North Pole. So that 15-second scene in the movie of a normal sized puppet, they blew it up to like a fucking kaiju size, and you have to fight this thing.
And you know the funny thing about the game is you fight the final boss within like 30 minutes of the game, and the other 3 hours of the game is just getting to the North Pole.
Seems odd.
It's the most bizarre structure of a game I've ever seen.
This is the longest prologue for a game ever. It's like, well, you beat the game 30 minutes in. Now you got 3 more hours to. It's like
literally
epilogue, what a prologue.
Literally.
It's like, here you go. Boop, boop.
But there's a lot of stuff like that they do that's in like the game is super faithful minus the whole puppet thing. That's super weird. But like all the scenes at the end, it's all in the game.
So what do you battle the puppet with? Like, what is your weapon of choice?
Your weapon is a snowball. And get this, when his bare heart opens up, you throw a snowball at the man's heart. And then Tom Hanks is like, "What the fuck are you doing, kids?" And I don't even know what to say.
You shouldn't be in there battling puppets. We got to get to the North Pole. That's just the movie.
It's bad. It's horrifying.
Oh god.
Damn it.
I'm just reliving. I'm just reliving Joey's experience as he's talking about it. That's fucking great. It's so good.
So is he.
Oh man.
Makes me think of the Jaws video game for the NES.
Hey, I have that somewhere.
I also have that.
You just collect seashells until you battle Jaws and stab them with a boat.
Yeah, because it's funny because it's called Jaws, but it should have just been Jaws: The Revenge, the game. But I think they were like, it's not going to sell if we do that because you know how bad that movie was. Like, just call it Jaws, but it's going to be the Jaws: The Revenge plot.
They should just put more Michael Keaton in it. Not Michael Keaton, sorry.
Michael.
Michael
Michael Keaton makes everything better. So
no,
yeah,
I blanked his
Michael
name.
Caine.
I do this all the time with acting.
Michael
Caine. Thank you.
Yeah,
Put more Michael Caine in it.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's
Just
so good.
fly his helicopter into it. Just fuck it.
I was going to say they don't make movie games like that anymore, but they did just release or are going to release an Avatar game
Yeah.
for PlayStation. And I'm assuming there's a level of quality assurance here in today's day and age. So that game will probably be good. But they don't release bad movie games anymore. And that upsets me.
Will it though?
Does anybody
Probably
remember
not.
Bebe's Kids video game?
Not
watch
a chance.
Bebe's
What?
Kids?
What is Baby?
You never see Baby? Oh my god! It's literally an animated. It was an animated comedy from I think the late '80s, early '90s, and it was based on a comedian's stand-up routine about these shitty ass kids that nobody wanted to babysit. They were called Bebe's Kids, and like he ended up getting stuck babysitting them. He had to take me to a theme park, and that's a fucking movie. And they made a video game based on it. I grew up watching that damn movie. It's a great movie. It's hilarious, but
Okay. All right.
more scary. Never thought you'd hear that one today, did you?
No. The music for this movie was done by Alan Silvestri, who is always fantastic in all the scores that he does. And I think the score is definitely one of the major, positives for this movie. I think it's great. Very
Dude,
memorable.
he cheated and just took Christmas music and slightly changed it.
Because other composers don't do that shit already.
Just kidding. I don't know, dude. It was fine.
Maybe. I don't know either. So, of course, Tom Hanks was behind the reason this movie got made. He got the book rights and he was trying to shop it around. And of course, it ended up, he ended up giving it to Robert Zemeckis, who he had, done work with, a few times before. And originally it was going to be live action, but Zemeckis came out and said it would have cost $1 billion to make this movie in live action. So we can make it for way cheaper if we do it, animated, and it'll keep the magic of the book in the illustrations and how the book is perceived by children. So they turned it into what we got. And originally Tom Hanks was asked to play every role in the movie. Like he was going to be the only actor, but I guess at one point he was exhausted to the point where Zemeckis was like, okay, we have to find other people to play other things.
I mean, he can play the ladies as well.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's insane. The premiere for this movie took place in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is where Hero Boy is from, or where Hero Boy and Billy are from, which is the hometown of Chris Van Allsburg, the author of the book.
Makes sense.
And the address of Billy is Robert Zemeckis' childhood address.
The store they go by, is that a real store?
Yes, that was a store that was actually in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where Chris Van Allsburg would go as a kid to go sit on Santa's lap.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's sweet.
When was the book written?
Let's see.
Oh, jeez.
Hold. I didn't look. Oh, 1985.
Okay.
Yep.
Just curious.
Because I think this was written in 85, and then Jumanji was written close to like the late 80s or early 90s.
Did he have anything to do with Zathura?
I probably, because I think I would guess, because isn't it just it's just Jumanji in space.
Yes, because everything needs to go to space.
I want to find a board game like that, like the haunted version of a board game, but it'd just be like life. And you're like, shit. You just start getting like bills and stuff. You end up with more kids and child support. Like, what's going on?
So yes, he did write Zathura. That came out in 2002.
It's funny. I thought Zathura, or however you say it, was always a sequel to Jumanji. And then I grew up and realized that they're just like completely different things, which is wild.
Yeah.
So according to Wikipedia, and you know how much you can rely on Wikipedia to give you the most accurate information. So Zathura was written in 2002, and it says the book is a sequel to the 1981 children's book Jumanji.
So there's more haunted board games in that universe, is what you're telling me.
The visual and textual references are made to Jumanji in the story. So there you go.
Was that not in the movie? I haven't seen Zathura in forever.
I haven't seen Zathura since it came out, and I just remember it had Josh Hutcherson in it, and I had Dax Shepard. Dak Shepard.
I just remember watching and think this shit's just Jumanji in space.
Yeah,
I mean, it is. Seriously though, Chris Van Allsburg's books are always my favorite things about him is just the illustrations. His illustrations are so good, especially Jumanji, because you get to see it. Like sometimes you're like, man, the monkeys in this book look so much better than those really bad CGI monkeys from the movie. Oh, and also Jumanji came out before Polar Express, because I just said it came out in 81, where this came out in 85.
Yep.
Are we ready to talk about the plot of this movie?
Yep.
Maybe.
Let's do it. So we're waiting for the sounds of Santa as our hero boy is pacing his room, he's trying to catch Santa by surprise. He goes downstairs and nothing's happened yet. There's no presents underneath the tree. The cookies and milk are still there. But then he hears his parents with his sister. And he's like, oh, got to go back upstairs. And he goes back into his room, and he's pretty much, you realize that this kid literally just doesn't believe in Santa anymore. And he's got like newspaper clippings, like of from magazines and newspapers and stuff of just like why Santa's a fraud or like Santa doesn't exist and all that stuff. And then you also have the picture of him sitting on Santa's lap, pulling on the beard.
Yeah, it's like I just like if these clips and just like Santa's role in World War II, Santa man or myth, Santa did he disrupt the stock market? Like what the fuck? Like what is this? What
This kid's out of
reality
his
is
mind.
this?
And
He's stealing hubcaps and throwing them at his dad or trying to kill his sister with him. Fucking Mortal Kombat style.
But he spies on his parents putting his sister to bed, who, of course, the sister still believes. And, of course, she asks the parents if they believe. And, of course, they lie to her because that's what you do to your children. You lie to their faces.
That's right.
And he has to rush back into bed and fall and pretend like he's sleeping. And I love how the parents come in and like, I mean, he's out like a light. Nothing's going to wet. Not even a locomotive is going to wake him up.
The express train.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so topical.
And I just love how he's faking it. He's just like, well, I guess it's just the end of the magic. And Hero Boy's like, well, Dad just sold me on the fact that Santa doesn't exist.
Did we
Thanks,
mention
Dad.
that Tom
Hanks
also
is the
does
dad.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
Tom
Tom
Hanks.
Hanks is the narrator, who you figure out is the older version of our main character. He's also the dad, which he just plays himself. And you never actually see the parents like in full view. They're always obscure or blurred out. But you can always you're like, yeah, that's Tom Hanks.
It's like cow and chicken.
Yeah. Sure. Didn't think that was going to be referenced in here.
Oh, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. You never see the one lady.
Yeah,
You
it's
see
like
him.
Toy Story. They never show the humans. It's the same deal. But
And
the
Well, they
reason
never
they
see
did
the
that-
adults
Muppets.
except for the damn toy store owner.
Yes.
And the Muppets.
My question is, why does Christmas Fever not play during this movie? Fucking movie.
Yeah, jeez. We'll never live.
You want some Christmas Fever?
I'm glad we could reference our last episode of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Go listen to our Silent Night, Deadly Night episode. So something shows up. He gets excited. He grabs his robe. It rips the pocket. Pay attention.
It drops
to
his
that.
fucking marbles, dude.
Who cares? They're fucking marbles. He runs out
I'm
of the.
surprised that wasn't your weapon in the game. You weren't just like pew 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 like marbles.
That was a missed opportunity. Wow. A marble gun.
Yes.
No, good job.
Or just like one of those like slingshots. Yeah.
Like, all right,
Yeah,
dirtbag, get back.
So he goes outside and there's a goddamn train just in the middle of his street. There's no train tracks there. How's the train even there? What's going on here? So he goes
Well,
out
just-
there.
Misplaced as a train.
Falls out of the
shit.
sky. Listen, if you were this kid, would you go outside?
Hell
Not
no.
a chance. Look at me.
Fuck
I'm small
no.
and short and skinny. I wouldn't be able to defend myself.
I'd be hiding under the bed.
Dude, I know this is like creepy vans with free candy on the side, but come the fuck on, kid. To like hop on this mysterious train. I don't know where these train tracks came from.
Yeah,
It's
don't
like
talk to
randomly
strangers. My ass. He fucking invites himself on the train.
I know. Well, you don't have to go.
The reverse psychology.
He almost makes the right choice, right?
Yeah.
Then he changed his mind. You get the all aboard from the conductor. He, of course, has his own like pre-written speech he gives to each kid about like, oh, so I know that you have stopped believing, or like you didn't sit on Santa's lap this year. You didn't write him a letter. You made your sister put out the cookies and milk. So, I think you should get on this train. I was like, and I'd be like, I don't think those are valid excuses for me to hop on this train with you, sir.
Creeper. Even more.
I just figured something out. I just had the biggest epiphany moment right now. This train, I know we'll talk about it in a minute. It's not a fucking spoiler. It's an old ass book / movie. The fucking ghost and shit on the train, he's like a demon from The Conjuring. He can't take your soul. You have to give it. And they could go into those zones that manipulate time where time doesn't flow. That's why nobody knew the train was there. That's why it's been 5 minutes forever later in the movie. That's why, dude. He's a fucking demon from The Conjuring.
You blew his mind.
We've come up with our own universe, Dan. We finally did it. We did it!
You literally blew Joey's mind.
It's true.
Joey, are you okay?
What the hell, man? He gave his soul?
Yes!
He's dead all along.
He's been dead the whole time.
I'm a little lightheaded, guys.
Joey's going to end up having nightmares tonight.
Oh,
What the hell?
So pretty much, while Joey is trying to figure out what the fuck is happening here, so pretty much the basis of the Polar Express is once you stop believing, the Polar Express is like, we're gonna make you believe by bringing you to the fucking source. So,
I believe, man. I believe.
I don't want to go. So off to the North Pole. So this is when you meet Know-It-All Kid, and God, he is awful, just annoying. I'm not gonna say he's awful. He's a know-it-all kid. Like we all
Stop talking.
I feel like we all knew this kid, or maybe was this kid when we were growing up. I know when it came to movies, I was probably this kid. I was just like, in Jurassic Park.
Actually, yeah. The 2004 classic Starsky and Hutch, starred by Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson.
My teachers had to talk to my parents about me not talking because I was so quiet.
I never shut up. So this was absolutely me.
So I was definitely not know-it-all kid.
Yeah, I was this kid with movies and football. That was me. So they passed the I don't remember what the stores is. It Herpesheimer's?
I think they make a cream for that.
Herpenscheimers. Bro, I can't wait to go over to
like an STD there.
Herpenscheimers to get the presents.
I can't see.
Honey, can you stop over at Herpenscheimers?
He's been blinded by Christmas joy.
Good old Herpenscheimers.
Oh, God.
Oh.
If Herpenscheimers is still there, I want to go. I just want to go.
I have to show you something. Speaking of.
I'm dying. I can't breathe.
Live, damn you, live.
I would never shop at a place called Herpy Jacks or whatever it's called. That's just unreal.
I would want to do it just to say I'd been there.
Oh my God.
Herpenscheimers, our savings don't wash off.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll stop. God.
You're making my eyes water. I can't see.
It's probably the hardest I've ever laughed on this fucking show. And I fucking said the word. Oh my God. So they go by the store where they sit on Santa's lap and they're all like, oh, the store, Herpenscheimers.
It's never gonna.
And then our shit ass hero's like, it's just a fucking mechanical Santa Claus. Like, he's not everywhere, dude.
Yeah, he gives a little shit-eating grin. Like, you shut the hell up, kid. You're the reason you're on this train.
Holy Christ!
Exactly, it's his fucking fault.
Jesus. So this is when you get the ticket scene where the conductor goes around, asks for tickets. You know, Hero Boy doesn't know he has one until he magically pulls one out of the non-ripped pocket. And the conductor does some cool, fast design work or letter work on the tickets. And you only get like a couple letters on the first go. So like everybody's trying to figure out what it says. I can't remember. What are the first letters that Know-It-All Kid gets?
L-E. It's like that. What is that?
What does that mean?
And the name of the store is Herpelscheimers.
So I was close.
You were right there,
I was
dude.
so close. I wasn't.
It's even funnier. Herpelscheimer.
I mean, it still sounds like an STD.
I think it should be. I think we just keep it as Herpesheimers, and we're good. Okay. And this is when, of course, you get the hey. Now we're heading to the other side of the tracks, and you're like, oh damn. And then you get like you pull in front of this house, which, to be honest, this is where I want to live because there's no one around me. There's no neighbors. Like this is where I want to be.
That house in today's economy, easy 300,000.
Oh,
absolutely.
No fucking doubt.
And of course, you see the whole interaction between the conductor and the kid we find out is named Billy. And, it's the same conversation that the conductor and Hero Boy have, but you see it from Hero Boy's perspective. And then you see like he's shy. He doesn't want to go on. So he backs up and then the train leaves. And then he has to chase down the train. And it's like, you're like, come on, kid, you can do it. And then he fucking goes face first into the snow. And you're like, no. But then Hero Boy pulls on that lever to stop the train. And I like how the conductor comes in. He's all pissed off, but then he's like understanding because he's like, yeah, I was just trying to make it so the kid could get on. He's like, all right, I guess that's all right.
This is an alternate reality where Billy from Silent Night, Deadly Night doesn't become his parents don't get killed. And this is him as he starts to not believe in Santa, but ends up believing in Santa. It doesn't become a serial killer. This is the same guy.
It all links some way. This is where we get the hot chocolate song and dance, which is actually pretty cool. I actually
Maybe
like this.
Just want hot chocolate though.
Oh, absolutely. But I really like the whole choreography of it, and I just love the whole thing with the guys are riding around on the cart. They're not pushing it; they're just riding it, and they're just flipping the cups everywhere.
Yeah.
That's in the game.
There's
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a TikTok that I watched of a Polar Express train doing that dance, and I was like, damn it, why does California have to have all the cool shit?
I think there's a Polar Express.
Awesome.
I think there's a Polar Express somewhere near me or within at least an hour.
We have one here too, but you just go and
you ride
in your pajamas.
Yeah, and you like ride to a certain distance down the track, and then they back up the train. That was me when I was a kid.
And you get like hot chocolate,
children.
but you don't get song and dance like that.
We're gonna go about 100 yards down the track, and then we're gonna reverse.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I don't know about you, but I would not step foot on that train.
No,
you guys are playing a dangerous game with that. Forget that. Old JoeyC is not getting on that train.
Yeah, dude.
They think they can fool me. Oh, we're just going to go 100 feet down the track. Yeah, 100 feet into hell. Good Lord.
Fucking opening.
Oh, Lord.
I ain't doing it.
You're going to go up the hill and then magically like you're on a roller coaster.
Also, Know-It-All Kid tells us what kind of train it is. It's the Père Marquette Locomotive 1225. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You got the girl, hero girl, who brings the hot chocolate to the kid in the back. I love.
Why is that guy segregated from the rest of the children?
I don't think he really is. I think he's
just choosing to be.
He's the lonely kid. He's
scared,
shy. So that's where, because when he gets on the train, he looks into the car with all the kids and decides to go into the empty car.
Oh, okay.
There's too many people.
But I love how you are always like, at moments you're always trying to feel like, is the conductor a douche? And then like he always redeems himself.
He does have those moments.
He's like, what do you think you're going with that hot chocolate? And she's like, I just want to bring it to the kid in the back. He's like, all right, let me bring you there.
Yep.
And then we get a whole sequence of events that just literally make me scratch my head and go, what the fuck are you doing? It is the conductor brings Hero Girl to the lonely kid. And so Hero Boy finds her ticket. And he's like, oh, she forgot her ticket. And I'm like, she's with the conductor. What is going to happen?
Yeah, so she's going to come back. I hope.
So
I don't know.
So he tries to bring her ticket to her. And of course, he walks out of the car into the fucking elements and the ticket flies away. And then we get a whole journey of the ticket going, flying through the air, and then an eagle snatches it, feeds it to the baby, which that is a horrifying sight of this baby bird just eating this ticket, spitting it out. And then I like how it turns into a snowball and rolls down the hill and then magically becomes perfectly flat with no creases on it. It just flies away.
So it wasn't just chewed up and spit back out.
This was supposed to be kind of like an homage to the feather scene from Forrest Gump.
Oh, we just assumed it was a Rube Goldberg machine.
You could do that too.
I figured this was it was just like the musical number. This is just hey, this is our CG movie. Look what we can do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like, let's pad the runtime a little bit. We'll have this spectacle. It was fine. That's just what it felt like.
Yeah, I thought it looked cool. It's in the game.
Do you play as the ticket?
You do not place the ticket.
Damn. fingers grow some legs and arms and an eyes open up. You're like, oh,
I'm Tommy the ticket. Let's get back to the train.
Tommy the ticket.
So the ticket finds its way back onto the train. It's kind of like in the heating vent there, and no one notices it. But then when the conductor brings her back, he asks for her ticket, and she's like, oh, well, it was right here. And so he's like, all right, well, now it's time to bring you back to the car we just came from. And of course, Hero Boy finds the ticket, tries to catch up with them. And of course, Know-It-All is always the darkest person here. He's like, yeah, he's going to throw her off the train. It's just common, that's the way it goes. It's like, when you don't have your ticket, you just get thrown off the train. And he's like, oh shit, no. So he goes back there. They're not around. And so he thinks they went to the top of the train. Like, the conductor just brought this child to the top of the train to walk across it. I was like, wow, this is horrible.
Is this all in the game? Please tell me.
Yes, it is. And it's the most horrifying section of the game, because when the kid's on the roof, you got like street lights or like signal lights flying towards you in the fog, and you have like a second to like move out of the way, and it's fucking scary.
Or you become a Dennis Hopper from Speed.
Exactly.
Bye.
How come we didn't get a Speed on a train?
We did. It was called Under Siege 2. With
oh,
Steven
that's
Seagal.
right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yes.
you, Seagal, man. You got me. Damn it.
So yeah, when he goes up into the train on top of the train to try to catch up to them, he runs into hobo Tom Hanks. And yes, I can call him hobo a hobo because that is what he is called in this movie. So we're all
I believe they called
politically
him,
correct.
I believe they called him housing deficient.
In this movie, he is a hobo.
Residentially deficient, or yeah.
I just want to know how his fire is still going.
Angela, if you didn't know, he was a ghost.
I don't care.
Christmas.
This movie is an acid
Something.
trip.
Yeah.
It's an absolute acid trip, man.
Because you see him underneath the train with the ticket. I was like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
is that man under there?
Yeah. And then
He's just hanging out.
whatever he gives Hero Boy to drink, I'm like, is that tar water?
It's like his ass rash.
It's like
And then you see him, but then you see him pull his sock out of it, and I'm like,
Oh God.
Keeps him awake. It's stout.
Stout.
So yeah, he has a conversation with the hobo, and he talks about Santa, and he talks about the Polar Express, and how he is the king of the Polar Express. He can ride it whenever he wants. He doesn't even have to have a ticket. And he's like, okay, we're gonna go find your friends. So let's go. So they start to go, but of course, like, Hero Boy can never keep up with anybody. So he just disappears into the blizzard. And so he finally is able to, like, he's trying to catch up. He's falling down. He thinks he's dreaming, so he's trying to wake himself up. It's not working. I do like the fact where he turns, the last thing the hobo says when he turns to him, he's like, "Do you believe in ghosts?" And then that's when he kind of like disappears, and you're like, "Oh shit, it's a horror movie."
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is.
1000% it is.
Christmas horror.
But then he shows back up and he's wearing skis, and the freaking Hero Boy jumps on his back, and the train is going up this massive hill. They're sliding backwards. I'm shitting myself. And then they go down the hill, and then he's doing a cool fucking skiing down on top of the train. Like, what the fuck
It's
is
the
happening
best
here?
part of the game, for the record. So much
good.
fun. But you actually
curious
control
as
the
to how
hobo.
fast-
It's fucking
How
awesome.
fast they were going.
Yes.
They can go way faster than the train was going.
And of course, they have to get to a certain point. They got to get to the front of the train before they get to Flat Top Tunnel, which has no clearance. Pretty much, if you're not,
1 inch.
yeah, if you're not below it, you're gonna get fucking taken out. And of course, it's one of those like last second, Hero Boy makes it, but when the hobo hits the wall, he disappears. You're like, oh shit.
Why
Just
is it
waiting.
called like? Why does it have a demon head?
To make it scary, Dan.
But why do they call it something like Demon Head Tunnel
I
or
don't
Satan's
know.
Deep Throat?
I was waiting for like
He takes that whole train, baby.
I was waiting for like Kid at Play to like it's like a statue of him with his like flat top, from House Party.
Ah,
Yeah.
or it's Guile.
I saw him
Fire.
I saw him in a commercial for like Progressive. I was like, that's Kid from Kid at Play. Damn, we're getting old, people.
I was waiting
We're
for
getting
the
old.
hobo to just do the whole Looney Tunes thing where he hits the tunnel and you just see him.
Oh, that would have been so
Oh,
much
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
That would have been so much better. So Hero Boy gets to the front of the train, and the girl is just sitting there, and she's in charge of driving the train, I guess. She's like, yeah, they taught me how to do it. Like that, that's the brake, that is the throttle, blah, blah, blah. And then we meet the engineers who are just trying to change a light bulb on the front of the train. And you have the one that has the really long beard who keeps getting it tugged, and he keeps like, screaming in pain because it hurts.
That's a work hazard. You can't do that. OSHA would.
I was going to say he has yet to.
I don't think OSHA has anything to do with this fucking train.
Probably not.
He's yet to light his beard on fire.
That's a good point.
What if he's just a really tall elf?
But still, when he's putting the coal in the fire,
That's true.
Where his beard is going the opposite direction.
He's got red hair, right?
Yeah.
And this makes me think of Santa Claus is coming to town. Do you think he's related to Santa Claus?
Could be.
He could be
Like
like
his-
a distant cousin.
Could be.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Is this Jangle?
Jingle
Oh,
bells
it's
and jangle
It's
bells.
Jingle and Jangle. Yes.
This is Jangle from Year Without a Santa Claus.
After
Yes.
their mishap with getting like in running with the law and stuff, they got demoted to engineer duty.
I don't know. These dudes fucking kill it at driving
Yeah,
a
they
fucking
do.
train. All right.
Yeah, they do. Finding that fucking pin.
So they have to stop really suddenly because there's caribou crossing the track.
Ugh.
I love how the conductor has to use the beard and his painful screams to clear the caribou from the tracks.
Yes.
So then we get the whole scene where the engineers have the blunder where the pin comes out of the control and they're trying to catch it and everything. If you look real carefully, there's a flux capacitor in the train car, in the actual engine car.
That's cheating.
No way.
Well, of course. So I don't know if it could be for two reasons. It could one of the main, probably the most obvious reason is the fact that Robert Zemeckis directed the Back to the Future movies, but two, maybe the Polar Express is a time machine, and we'll talk a little bit more of why that might be at the end of the plot breakdown. Okay. So yeah, they go. It's a whole thing. Of course, they can't slow down the train. The tracks, of course, turn into a fucking roller coaster at Six Flags. You're just freaking going through.
They like twister themselves to the front.
Yeah, they literally
I'm sorry. Me.
I did not know you were gonna say that. I'm so sorry.
They literally do that.
Yeah, they're gonna strap themselves to this metal beam like
Hang
they do
on,
in Twister.
Joe.
Yes, and yeah, he finally takes the pin out of his hair. One of the engineers, and you find out he's got really long hair. Yeah,
he's got this little bun going on,
and he fixes the control.
Holy hell! He's got
he's got a lot of hair.
And of course, they're able to stop, but they're on ice now, which is terrifying. So then they get the train back going, and this is when the conductor is like on top of the train telling them where to go, and it's literally like Polar Express Tokyo Drift on the ice here.
That's what I said. I said I didn't know the trains could drift.
Right, and the train. So, like, imagine being like the thing that they didn't do, and I wish they did, was show the view of the kids in the car. Like, holy fuck!
Just like goes crazy.
That's what I was saying. Like, there's passengers back there,
just getting tossed from side to side.
I want to say something because actually, I think it was during the whole downhill thing with the train when it was running. It was a runaway train or whatever.
Yeah,
it's when the hero girl and the conductor almost fall off. Is that scene? When the hero boy grabs them, but then the ghost grabs him.
Oh yeah,
it pulls him back, and then he just vanishes into the ether. And like the kid's like, "Fuck, this has to be from the hot chocolate." I'm tripping so bad.
Because he tells him to be quiet, don't say anything.
Yeah, which is cool. Actually, I liked how that was shot, like how he just like fades into snow. Anyway, but I was going to also say, for those of you that know, if you have seen it, because you were talking about drifting, I told her there is if you're familiar with the anime Initial D. Which is, of course, all about drifting. Like it's an anime series about drifting. It's fantastic. Bunch of old 80s and 90s cars. But there's a parody anime about people who drift trains. And it was like apparently there's a few issues. It's all just like, I think it was an online comic. It's fucking hilarious, but that's what that made me think
I
of.
mean, I'm sure you could do it, but that train went in reverse.
He's doing a double track drift.
He did the whole spin around and go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where's the view of the kids getting just tossed from the car here? And then they go underwater, like they crash through the ice. The cars do, and you're like, oh, I could just like piss in myself here. Like if I was a kid in the back, like, that's
what I said. I'm like, they're all freaking out back there, like nobody cares.
Shit. But they make it, and Hero Girl gets her ticket finally punched, and she gets L and R on hers.
Yeah, I think L and D.
Okay.
Yeah,
separate, like gapped.
So this is when the conductor brings them through the abandoned toys car, and that's when you see the hobo is controlling the Ebenezer Scrooge puppet, which is kind of a foreshadowing to the fact that Robert Zemeckis' next computer animated film would be A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. So kind of plays into that. So yeah, it was pretty much this whole thing where Santa came up with the idea to find all these abandoned toys and bring them back to the North Pole and refurbish them, and then give them to kids that'll actually play with them. It's terrifying though. It's really terrifying, especially the marionettes. Marionettes are just terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm just pissed there wasn't a Charlie in the box.
I
made that reference earlier.
I'm just thinking of like Puppet Master, all the toys, they just like cut their strings off and they're just walking around. One's got blades for hands and the other one's got 6 arms with guns. Puppet Master series is fucking wild. So Lonely Boy, this is when they get to the back of the train and we get the song, When Christmas Comes to Town.
Where are you, Christmas?
They all need a song. They all need a musical number.
I just love though that the Hero Boy never sings. He just sits in the back, he's like, this is cool.
I'm here. I'm the silent protagonist.
Y'all go ahead and sing. I'm fine.
Oh, also, one of the puppets in the car was also a Pinocchio puppet. Did you see the Pinocchio puppet with the broken nose? That's like the first one you see really up close.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Again,
I guess I
another
didn't realize it
foreshadowing
was
to the fact
Pinocchio.
that he would ruin Pinocchio.
Yep.
They see the Northern Lights, which is cool. And this is when they finally make it to the North Pole. And this is when the conductor takes off his cap, and I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
Polish.
Wasn't expecting that. All right.
He is quite clean.
I was like, someone forgot his Rogaine.
You can see your reflection in that hat.
I was waiting. The thing was I was waiting because he's like, oh, I made it 5 minutes early, and he takes off his cap, and I was waiting for him to like wipe down his head, but he just wipes down his mouth. I was like, oh man, you got the shiny dome. You gotta wipe that thing.
Yeah, he's sweating from everywhere.
So this is when the kids are told that Christmas officially starts once Santa gives the first gift of Christmas. Also, you have to remember that it is 11:55 for like 35 minutes.
Yep.
Yes.
And the reasoning behind that is that the time doesn't start until that gift is given, because that's when Santa ends up leaving the North Pole. So they go back to they finally get to the North Pole. They all get out. The conductor's trying to get them orderly to go to work, to meet Santa. And Hero Boy and Hero Girl go back to get Lonely Boy, and the car becomes detached from the rest of the train, and it rolls down into this another roller coaster ride, till it gets to like I was just like Thomas the Tank Engine's like train car yard. I was just like,
I just talked about that. I was just on another podcast and I fucking talked about Thomas the Tank. It's just fucking killing me, dude. This is
you know what made it terrifying is like you see all the empty like where the trains are stored, but you just see out of the shadows it's just Thomas's face. You don't see the rest of the train, it's just Thomas's face. Like, look out. But the kids never notice it. It's just one of those things you're just like, oh my
God. All you hear is just run. Oh shit.
No, they end up stopping on this turntable.
Oh yeah.
That's how they turn to get out.
Yep.
So they get out of the train car. They hear a bell. They go towards the bell. They have to walk across a terrifying track because it's got a bunch of holes in it. And if they fall, they die.
Don't worry, guys. It's just a dream.
Yeah.
It's just a dream.
So they run into the most New York elves I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, man.
So,
Dude, it's
like, sir, we got Steven from New Jersey.
Jersey.
So this was a nod to Steven Spielberg, because Steven Spielberg is from New Jersey, and the whole thing was like the kid would like bully his sisters, and I guess that was something he did when he was a kid.
Wow.
So that was a whole thing for him. Yeah.
Really? That's okay.
And then they ride on the tube thing. They get into that tube, just like, damn.
Like being at the bank.
That's literally what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Also in the game.
Oh, there you go.
What do you have to do in that part? I forgot.
You have to like move side to side and avoid like the things in the tube. It's like the most motion sickness thing ever. It's super fast paced.
It's horrible. So they get to like the present wrapping section and then the present sorting section, and Lonely Boy finds a gift that's going to his house. And so he really needs to get to it. Yeah, right. It's one gift too.
Million fucking gifts there. Oh, well, look, it's my fucking toy truck. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is it's only one gift that comes out, which makes no sense to me. Like one present. Like it would have been more fun if like just presents just start fucking coming out of every hole in the wall. And
yeah, exactly.
They're like, because they said like they got one last one. Like, what are those guys doing? We gotta get out of here.
Oh man, I just love the clumsy walking that Lonely Boy does with those big swamp boots on. Just like clombering along, almost falling on his face every goddamn time.
They were hand-me-downs. They were a few sizes too big.
I think the thing that is hilarious, and of course I always have to mention my wife's opinions on movies that we watch for the show, and constantly as we're watching, she's like, what the fuck is going on with their faces?
Lifeless.
There's no emotion in these faces. There is no like, it's just one face the entire time.
Me and Hero Girl, when you first meet her and she's like hunched over like this, I'm like, she's creepy.
Yeah.
Am I smiling? It's horrible.
It's like like fucking Jaws, like black dead eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Yeah, pretty much. So, of course, the kid wants to see his present, so he chases it, grabs onto it, and then they ride down. The thing that I would ride out of any of like the roller coaster rides on the train, this is the thing I would happily ride down. This sweet slide, as you know, they go down and then they land into a gigantic pile of presents that somehow has not fallen over.
Yeah, and this kid will not let go of his fucking present.
He will not let go.
He's not wearing a bunny suit though.
So they then get wrapped up like the big Santa sack.
Santa's sack of souls, not his dangle bobs.
Shit, he dropped into Krampus's lair.
Yes,
dark and desolate and scary.
Put you in a snow globe, you little cocksucker.
Oh God, why is he sharpening that candy cane, mister? So they get put in the sack, and then they get brought outside in like a fucking hot air balloon transport. That when they need to get lowered, they have to do it just like when you want to make your balloon fart when you were a kid. You know, you blew up a balloon and you want to, you know, like, that's how they got it to lower.
Johnson, make it queef.
And the funniest thing is like, I like how the conductor, who's probably done this job for, is this man immortal? We don't know, but he's probably been doing this job for a long time. He's like, I'm just a conductor here. I don't know much about that flying contraption you got up there, but you're coming in a little low.
He's a know-it-all, dude. The conductor just knows all. It's like Dinosaur Train.
Yeah, it is
Oh,
Conductor from
fuck.
Dinosaur Train.
So they find Know-It-All Kid in there because Know-It-All Kid's got to be terrifying and grabs onto Billy's leg. Is like dragging him down into the toy. It's like Buzz when he's stuck in the alien fucking grabber pit at
the
Pizza
vending
Planet.
machine.
He's like,
I
"Can you
little
grab
zealots.
it?"
Well, it is Tom. Well,
Yeah,
if Tom
sure.
Hanks was
Yeah.
in this scene, then yes.
Ooh, it's a giant claw. Ooh, the claw.
Yeah, and they end up you get the crazy scene where they end up pulling up, but they're not pulling up fast enough and they knock the fucking star off the tree.
Ooh.
And the
Yeah.
tree
They're
falls. And I'm like, oh my, and then the elves do like crazy, like the fucking Mission Impossible fucking swan dives out of a plane.
It just starts. It just starts
No.
playing here, like "Rock Me Like a Hurricane."
Yeah.
They're the elves from Santa Claus. They have
Yeah.
jetpacks.
Yes.
Yep.
They
And
saved like 1,000 people from being
They did.
decapitated.
Yes.
you had the one elf who literally had his nose like broken because it like almost squished him. They grab it right before it hits the ground and bring it back up to the top of the tree. I'm
That's
like,
fine.
jeez, has this happened before?
Yeah.
Gonna stop letting kids to the North Pole at this rate.
They've
Jesus.
prepared
This is
for
a terrorist
this.
attack.
And
Oh
then
yeah,
we
all
get-
the kids that don't believe in Santa. There's 6 of them. Yeah, right. 6 out of the 7 billion kids.
we also
6.
needed this 7-car train for 6 children.
I know. God.
Only one's filled with
That's
abandoned
all you
toys.
see. You see 2 cars
Oh god.
out of and the engine, and that's it. Like, where's everybody? Where's everybody else?
Well, according to the video game, one is the kitchen, one is the puppet's shack, separate from the used car or the used toy cart. So you do see 3 different kitchens. Who are there? I don't see any food going out. I just see hot chocolate. So,
I mean, maybe they need like a 1, 2, 3 for hot chocolate. Like they have to start here.
I could. I was just wondering if the used toy car had like blow-up dolls and vibrators in it. I mean, they are used.
They need to be refurbished too.
that's true.
Dude, what elves get that job? These are like the dudes. They're like, this is like the motherfucker that knocked over the tree. Like, you're on sex toy, Marvin, for the next 1,000 years.
You're on.
Why weren't you
toy,
at elf
buddy.
practice?
I knew that was coming.
You know what, Santa? No one believes in you anymore.
We already
What's
got
the
enough
point?
dolls that walk, cry.
What's the point of you going out
Walk,
anymore,
cry.
Santa? No one believes in you anyways. You fucking idiot.
Merry Christmas, dude.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
So
Oh,
the reindeer, I love the whole reindeer wrangling as they have to like bring them out. It's not just like the reindeer are just like, yeah, gonna walk out. No, they're fucking like dragging the elves up in the air and shit. They gotta like attach them
very excited.
to the sleigh, and then Santa comes out to his fucking like he's like a fucking wrestler, man. He's got his song, and everyone's got to sing along to it. Okay, Santa Claus is coming to town. He is. Come on.
He may be
Come on,
world
Joey. You're a
heavyweight
wrestling
champ.
fan. This is 100% a wrestler's intro into the ring.
No
okay.
doubt.
What kind of pop is this,
1000%.
dude?
But he is like tall and skinny. Like
Yeah. Hey,
And
man.
like, if
I'm
you
like,
can't
who's
even
on a
see
diet?
him, I was like, get the fucking elves down in
Well-
front. Jesus. And who does
Yeah.
this? Listen, I like my boss at work, but he doesn't get a fucking grand entourage when he comes out for this.
He's
I see
the
him do all
ruler
the
of
fucking
these
time.
people. Man,
Yeah.
he's like their fucking king. He's their dictator, man. He look at all
Fuck
those
yeah.
slaves
I
he
mean,
has.
he is a dictator.
He's a
Just saying.
fucking maniac. He's the
Yes,
one that
he is.
orchestrated the children getting kidnapped and brought those poor children to his fucking lair. He made his slaves do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Hanks is like fucking Hitler's right hand man.
He is?
And
Yeah.
good lord.
No, dude, he's a fucking, he's like the herald of Santa, dude. He's like Silver Surfer, like fucking Tom Hanks the
God.
conductor.
I was like, I'm thinking of
He
one like that's
caroused.
like less dark. Was like he's like Charon. He's just harboring souls into the afterlife. Jesus Christ.
So wait a minute, is Tom Hanks the conductor just like a modern kind of like the Ferryman, like a modern retelling of the Ferryman. Like
yeah, but they bring him home.
He just-
That's the thing, is he doesn't keep him. Like, it's not like they bring him to the North Pole and they're like, "You're here forever, boy," and they just turn him into one of the elves.
There's a lot of background children in this. I'm not sure all of them got back on that train.
Maybe.
That's a good point. I only
You
saw
only
a
see
couple.
what 2?
Two.
You only see 2 to turn back into their families. Where did they go after that?
You just see like you see one quick scene where it's just a billboard with like missing children, like fucking papers all over the place.
Dude, listen, he goes all over the world. He's just got to pick one every section, like every couple sections of the. It's just going to be like a disappearance. There's no pattern.
But then Hero Boy's gonna, read the newspaper and be like, missing children, and he's gonna have a new folder.
Listen, it's going to be
children.
Yes, it's going to be the poor kid because people. That's a less likely thing, man.
But
it
he
always
was
happens to the poor
returned home.
people. I'm just saying that's the ones that are going to get targeted.
So my question is, so when Santa comes out and his, everybody is singing "Santa Claus is coming to town," and Hero Boy can't see him. Can he not see him because he doesn't believe in him? Is that why he doesn't see him, or is he just really bad at looking in a direction?
Like, I see him.
I
don't
maybe
know.
he needs his glasses.
You get like a POV, but like maybe it's like I can't get a clear shot.
Well, that's the thing. Is like Billy
fucking Santa.
Billy can see him. He's standing right in front of him, and he is like 6 or 7 inches shorter than him. And Hero Boy's is like, I can't see him, but yet when they show it from his view, you can see Santa.
I mean, he does have an elf butt in his face.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's because he doesn't believe. So maybe he doesn't see Santa.
That might be the
Maybe.
case.
Yeah.
That might be the case.
It just makes sense because I was watching
Because they
this
do
going,
the thing
why
with
can't
the bell,
Yeah.
Because he hasn't really said that he believes yet.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why Santa, like, if he didn't have the train, like he could kidnap children that don't believe because they can't see him? He's like the predator of sexual predators because he's invisible. Parker just scoops him up, puts him in his bag. Like, I can't see anything. He's like, I'm here. I'm always here. Stuffs him in his bag. Parker.
Well, I didn't think we were going that far, but
Why doesn't it have to really be that?
Are we shocked, Angela? Are we shocked with
no,
how far
I'm not.
he goes?
You know how long I've been married to him?
We got
I've
Joey
heard
all,
worse.
and he looks like he doesn't know what he just heard.
Okay, let's just nix the sexual predator thing. He's just invisible. You can't see. He gets to kidnap kids. Like, I mean, where'd he go? I don't know. Santa didn't take smoking cookies.
Joey
He took
is
our
going to have
child.
nightmares tonight
Because
and
of
he's
you,
gonna
Dan.
Come back.
We always do this.
He's gonna write Parker like, I never want to be on your podcast again.
Christmas movies just.
Nightmares.
I don't know. Give me ideas.
This is the most horrifying movie ever.
This is
What the hell is going on here?
That's why we do it, baby.
That's right.
So they put the big line of bells on the reindeer, and one of them pops off and falls to the ground, and Hero Boy picks it up, but when he rings it, he doesn't hear it. And that's when Santa just pops out of nowhere. He doesn't even make himself known. He just looks up. Santa's just like, "What's up there, boy?" And you're like, "Whoa!"
He's
Jesus.
he's trying. The kid's trying to believe, right? He's like, I believe, and like Santa's like Kratos behind.
He's
him. Like, what was that, boy? And he's like, I believe
What
that.
did you say?
And he's like, it's just like, God Lord.
Oh, is that why he just puffs up like that? He literally is like, I want to believe, and then he's just like, I heard you said you wanted to believe. Well, I'm here now, and you're like, whoa. And
It's
you
like
at least
a
like
fucking army recruiter.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to sign up? All right, let's go.
He's got more room for more elves.
so he tells him about why it's good to believe and all that stuff, and then they meet with the other children, and it's time for Santa to pick the kid that's going to get the first gift of Christmas. And of course he puts Know-It-All in his place. He's like, you need some patience and you just need to chill the fuck out, okay?
You're fine.
It's not been invented yet. Here's some real ones.
Yeah.
Just calm down.
I think for Hero Girl, he talks about how like she is a good leader and stuff like that, and like she's good at like bringing people together. Then you have Jimmy, Billy? What the fuck's his name? Jimmy.
Jimmy Neutron.
Close enough.
We were talking about those New York elves, and I just say, Jimmy! Oh, man. This is the worst New York accent I've ever done in my life.
My people are upset.
I apologize. Yeah, so Billy gets, pretty much gets told, like, hey, you have people around you who care for you, and you have friends now. And he's like, yay, thanks, Santa. And then he's like, and for the gift, it's gonna be this kid. And he's like, but what about me? You gonna tell me what my whole thing? And he's like, no, come with me. And so they go on the sleigh. He asks him what he wants for Christmas, and then he whispers in his ear, and I'm guessing he just says he wants the bell, right? Because that's what he gets. He's like, this is the first gift of Christmas, and he holds up the bell. So then we get Santa's exit from the North Pole, where you get the cool fucking magic rainbow whip that he uses and just fucking scares the shit out of everybody because he's got to fly right over everybody's head. Like, come on, man. Like, everybody's like, yay, Santa, you almost decapitated us with the sleigh. Like, Jesus, man. And, and then this is what he says, dash away, and then he, like, just vanishes, and a bunch of shit falls from the sky. And then, Joey, this is where they get a fucking elf party, and guess who's singing in the band for that elf party?
That
Steven
is
fucking Tyler of Aerosmith is the elf, literally sitting on like a unicycle singing jingle bells, jingle bells. Yeah, that is Steven Tyler.
What was I doing?
I don't know.
I was
We
probably
missed
too
it too, so-
concerned.
No,
I
I
was
saw
concerned
it.
for the well-being.
You didn't say anything.
I didn't. I was like, what the fuck is Steven Tyler doing? I just thought to myself, I was like, listen,
Okay.
this would have made way more sense if there wasn't a dumbass band and they just played Don't Stop Believing.
That would have made more sense.
It would have worked.
Yeah.
Like no joke. Like seriously would have worked. Like Journey.
Yeah,
I think they just wanted to keep it. They just wanted to keep it Christmas themed. Just wanted to keep all those Christmas songs in there. So this is the final hole punch scene where the conductor gives them their final message on their ticket. You have Jesus Christ, know-it-all kid who gets his punch and he's like, lean. What does that mean? He's like, maybe move your fucking finger, idiot. And it says learn.
I mean, really.
He's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And then just walks.
Don't tell
out of
me
the
how to
train.
read.
Yeah.
Oh.
It means lay off the snacks. No, get in the fucking train.
I do like I like Billy's ticket because it's is this the one where it says depend on, rely on, count on? Every
Yeah.
time he flips it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then Hero Girl gets hers punched and she's like, lead? What does that mean? And he's like, well, it also says lead. What are people teaching you in school, kids?
This is a Mega Man 2 thing. I'm telling you. You just if those of you that know, fucking know. It's
And then the final one, Hero Boy gets believe. So Hero Boy gets back on the train. He's going to show off the bell. And he goes to reach into his pocket, and it's not there because he put it in the pocket with the hole. Now, supposedly,
He didn't learn the first time.
if you listen close enough, when he is on the sleigh and he gets the bell, he puts it in his pocket while he is on the sleigh, and you can actually very subtly hear the bell hit the floor of the sleigh, indicating that it fell out of his pocket while he was in there.
Oh.
That's
Apparently
good.
he didn't hear it.
So, of course, he's really bummed. And to be honest, I'd been bummed too. He gets everybody goes home, and this is when they wake up the next morning, it's Christmas morning, and they're opening their gifts. I like how there's the toy train that kind of looks like the Polar Express going through the under the tree, and the final gift is Hero Boy opens up, and it's the bell, and I don't know if it's in the reflection here or if it's in the reflection when he puts it down, but you can actually see Santa in the bell.
Yep.
yeah, I see. He has like that letter in there, like you left this on my seat. Don't
Yep.
litter, you little piece of crap.
It's like I give you a gift and you drop it 2 seconds after I give it to you. Come on, man. And this is when you get the whole indication that, as people get older, they stop believing, and so they can't hear the bell. And because the parents pick up the bell. It's like, oh, look at this. And then they shake it and
Oh,
they
it's
can't hear anything.
broken.
Oh, it's broken. I'm sorry, son, and give it back. And then you get the narrator, who's voiced by Tom Hanks, who talks about how his sister, at one point stopped hearing the bell, and like his friends grew up and stopped hearing the bell, but he never stopped believing. So he always was able to
stop.
I mean,
which, to be honest, is like so sad. Like this whole final narration from Tom Hanks is just so sad. And that is the Polar Express. So there is a theory that has gone around, and I actually like this theory. And we were talking earlier about the flux capacitor being in the train, the possibility making the train a time machine, which technically there was a train time machine in Back to the Future Part 3.
Yep.
So some believe that the conductor is a time traveler and that he is an older version of Hero Boy who is helping him believe in Santa again so that he can eventually turn into the conductor.
I could see it.
So he's just stuck in this like paradox
Fucking
of
loop.
non-stop cycle, and he fucking just like, no wonder he lost all his hair. He's sick of going back there. He's done it 40,000 times.
It's like, how many times do I got to pick myself up?
I also wonder if the ghost on the train is like a kid that got on and just never left.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's horrifying.
He's like, I don't need a ticket. I've been here long enough. Because especially with the way he talks. Because he doesn't, like, even this takes place in the 50s, he talks like he's from old before then.
Yeah.
Like some of the lingo and shit he uses. So, just a thought.
That's a pretty damn good thought.
I feel like there's a lot of theories you could come up with for this fucking
Oh,
mind fuck of a movie.
This movie is horrifying, deranged, unhinged. The children are at risk. The lizard
they also-
people are taking over the. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god. Well, now let's talk about our thoughts on the movie. Our final thoughts on the movie. Joey, after your most recent rewatch, what did you think of the Polar Express?
Stay clear. And you're going to get the urge to play the game. Don't. Stay away from both. If you want to sleep peacefully at night, hey, listen to me. I know you have trouble sleeping. I know you. I see you toss and turn at night. You stay clear of this movie because this movie will screw with you and it'll make you always look behind you because there's always a creepy Tom Hanks behind you. Stay away. This movie is horrifying. Right? This movie is horrifying. Me and Grimace were on the couch just like all snuggled up like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I didn't think this movie was so fucked up. When I was 10 years old when the movie came out, I'm thinking, boy, this is a great little Santa Claus movie. I love Christmas. And it's utterly terrifying. No adult should ever view this movie. Because you're going to see the true horrors of what's happening to these poor children. Good Lord, save the kids. #.
Yep.
I'm getting all worked up.
Oh. Who wants to start over there?
So our kids, our two youngest, have been watching it in school because it's about that time. Our daughter was like, I don't want to watch it with you because it made me sad. And I
She's
was
like me. I don't like watching really like sad stuff. So
I was like, that's fine. I'd never watched it before because this came out when I graduated high school.
So
I was busy, sir.
to watch movies?
Yes. I didn't watch a lot of movies after I graduated high school because I was too busy with.
well, that was admittedly it was like
Oh, no.
almost a little over a year after that.
The year I graduated?
It was a year later. You got graduated in 04.
Yeah.
We got together in 05. About a year later.
We were talking before then. Anyways, I honestly don't know why I didn't watch it. I couldn't come up with a reason why. And then watching it, I was like, oh. There was parts I was disappointed with, like the creepy girl just sitting.
Just her eyes and her
She was,
weird
like, looking
smile.
at him.
Like,
And she was like hunched over, like her back was like way far back. I was like, damn, she's creepy. But
Maybe
I
she has
mean-
a condition.
listen. Would I watch it again? If my kids asked me to, yeah, probably. I didn't not like it,
it is.
but it's not one of those that, you know, hey, watch me again.
It's a permanent staple on TBS and TNT now. It's literally on every day on
Which
either
is
TBS
fine.
or TNT.
Hey, I grew up in Georgia. Our Polar Express was the Coca-Cola Bears. Just saying.
Wait, so like the bears would kidnap you and try to bring you to the North Pole?
No, did you never watch the Coca-Cola commercials with the bears?
Of course
The
I
polar
did.
bears?
They were on every 30 seconds, especially during the holidays.
That was my Polar Express.
That's when commercials were fucking great. Now they suck.
Dude, the Coke commercials were the best.
It's like when you're watching TV. I mean, I know a lot of people don't watch like cable TV where there's actually commercials, but you get a lot of the fucking stupid car insurance ads that are just horrible. And then you get the old school Hershey Bell commercial that's been playing for like 25 years. And I'm like,
It's classic.
we need more of this. Bring this back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dan?
Oh, this is my first time watching it
Wow.
as well.
Wow.
So same for her. Like 2004 would have been the year that I graduated, but anyway, it just wasn't there. Like when Christmas rolled around, it was with my family and stuff. My mom, I think, had watched at that point, but I was like, I'm just gonna watch the shit that I grew up with. Like I don't need extra Christmas movies. I guess it just was like this movie came out. I remember seeing the game when I worked at GameStop. That was about it. Like I don't really have much of a history. I knew about it, except for when I worked at the movie theater. When I used to manage a movie theater for a couple of years, we always showed it. Like we'd have Christmas shows. People would request if there wasn't a Christmas themed movie at the time or whatever, they would request.
Yeah, you'd get the kids that came in with the school showings.
Yeah, we do. That was my experience. I've seen a little bit of it through that, but that's it. Like my kids watched it. I mean, it's okay. Like I get why this is nostalgic to people. Why people like this as a Christmas movie, and it's fine. I mean, obviously we started the movie and I was like, these character models aren't that bad. And then they started like doing more stuff, and I was like, these don't always work all the time, do
And then
they?
their mouths just do this.
Yeah,
and they're
it's
like,
just the
"Oh."
fact that like the expressions don't change in any situation. Like there's no like scared face. There's no like like laughing.
Their eyebrows
or, like,
don't
it's
move.
it's literally like this the entire time, and you're like, oh my god.
Let me watch Shrek, please. Like just for early CG stuff. But anyway, in all seriousness, it's fine. It's okay. Like if somebody like had it on, yeah, I'd probably watch it. It's not like anything I'd go to my way to watch.
Yeah, the hot chocolate song was the best, but I've heard that one before I
Yeah,
watched the movie.
I never
That's a
have.
cool
I was
scene.
like, is Tom Hanks gonna sing?
But
I was like, I don't know.
that was a good song.
Does he not sing in this movie?
No, he does. I didn't know that going in.
Oh.
Like I assumed there'd be some musical number. That's it.
Yeah, this is a movie I've seen a lot. I've seen it a lot through my like I said, I was a teenager when it came out, but I love anime. I think animated movies were like my most viewed movies growing up, and so I didn't care how old I was. This was a movie I saw in theaters. I used to watch it every year before Christmas, and I still do because I have young kids. So of course, this is a movie that my kids like to watch, and so it's easily accessible to watch. So it gets watched every year, and I think other than the character models that are kind of creepy, everything else looks really good for 2004. I think, especially for it being the first computer animated movie that Warner Brothers had done at the time. So, I think it looks, and of course they improved on it with Christmas Carol later on. But this is one that I watch every year, and I enjoy it for the creepiness. I'm glad my kids don't think it's creepy yet, but it's definitely fun in watching it as a different, like, you're like, oh my God, this is horrifying. But yeah, that is, those are our thoughts on the movie. But now let's go to the social medias and see what some people thought of the Polar Express. We're going to start on Twitter/X, where we have our first comment from our good friend Darren from NostalgiaCast, who said, I enjoy it quite a bit. Aside from the obvious stretching, I actually don't mind the dead eyes. Every Christmas classic, in my opinion, should be a little bit creepy.
That's fair.
It goes with the territory, I think.
Yes. Our next one is from @RealFeelsPod, who said, enjoy the instrumental musical. That's about all that it's worth. But that's just me. Hope you like it. We have one from Screen Nerds Pod, who said, I enjoy that film. It has been a long time since I just saw it. Since I just saw it. I can't read. Our next one is from Uncrewed Meteor, who said, this movie still is in my top 10 Christmas movies. The art style, the music, especially that train drifting scene, it just itches that nostalgic part of my brain. Is the plot a little straightforward? Yes. Does the animation look a little dated? Yes. But that is what makes it memorable.
They made me think of a meme. Holy fuck. Somebody posted this the other day, and it was like this gruff Italian dude. He's like, I refuse to believe the entire Siberian Orchestra is trans. And
I've seen that a couple of times.
I was like, you son of a bitch.
It's like boomers when they realize that all of the Siberian Orchestra is trans, and I'm like, fucking hell.
God damn it. Oh, God. And then our last one is at Late and Confused, who said, I really enjoyed this. Yeah, it had its moments where it seemed kind of cheesy, but it also felt perfect all around for Christmas. Plus, I think the hot chocolate scene is definitely one of the best in the movie. All right, time to go to the other socials. Hot chocolate is good.
I want some right now.
Next cold morning, I like to put in. If it's cold in the morning, we fuel up the vans. I like to try to get one if I can.
But you won't bring me coffee.
Yep. Sorry, babe. I'm at work.
So we got one over on Threads. We got one from patron Jason from Seen That Reviews, who says, it's grown on me as I've gotten older. The Silvestri score really elevates it.
I thought it was just about Sylvester Stallone. I was like, I do not remember him in this fucking movie.
What?
That's cool. Thank you.
Imagine that. Oh my God. I gotta find the one on Instagram here. I don't think, did we get one? Oh yeah, we did. We got one from Doom Generation on Instagram. It just said, still never seen it. I said, you should change that.
There you go.
Do it.
Do it.
I love when an adult watches this movie for the first time and it's like, what did you think of it? I feel like children are like, this is great, it's Christmas.
And you realize how horrifying it is.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is it for us talking about the Polar Express from 2004. Joey, it is always a pleasure to have you here on the show and getting to work with you on the show and on all the stuff that you were working on.
Glad to be here.
We can't wait to have you back. Where can people find you, Joey?
Well, you can go to youtube.com/officialJoeyC if you want to. I wouldn't recommend it. There's not any there is one good thing about my channel. There is a cameo from my man in my latest Box Office Battles episode. We pitted Blair Witch Project versus Paranormal Activity, and it was a good time. So I'd love to see you over there.
Yes, please do that. And of course, all the links to Joey's, to everything that Joey does is going to be down in the description. So his YouTube, his Patreon, all that fun stuff will be down in the description. You can find us at Dissect That Film on all the social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter/X. We're on Blue Sky. We're on the Slasher app, which I don't understand how that app works, but we're there. We're on Facebook, and we're everywhere at Dissect That Film. So there you go. And all of Dan and Angela's links and my personal links will be down in the description. And last but not least, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Dissect That Film, where you can, monetarily support the show, and you get a little bit of extra content. We do have an exclusive show called The Monster Zone, where every month we talk about a couple monster movies from all the decades. and that show is hosted by the wonderful Dan and Angela. So if you want to see a show where I literally just don't have to do barely anything, listen, subscribe at the $3 and $5 tier of Patreon, and you can listen to that wonderful show.
That's true facts.
Yeah. Next week, as of recording next week, I have no idea what movie we're covering. So
It'll be all right.
it's going to be a surprise because it is going to be the final episode of 2023 and the final episode before we take our first ever break. So yeah, we're excited for what's coming next, and we're excited to continue doing this show, and we appreciate all the support. We appreciate all of our patrons, everybody who comments and subscribes on the YouTube channel. Make sure to do that. It's all free. And to everybody who leaves us reviews on the podcast apps, because guess what? It's free and it helps the show, because if you rate and review the show on whatever podcast app you listen to us on, the more reviews we get, the more people discover us, as I should say. And it really helps the show out. So we appreciate everybody who does that. And if you haven't already, please do. But until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. And that is the official JoeyC. And this has been the Dissect That Film podcast, episode 138. We'll see y'all again next time. Ho, ho, ho.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.